So far this year, Volkswagen, Porsche and Volvo have dropped their coupes because they haven't been selling. But TVR reckons this one will buck the trend. It's called the Cerbera, it costs less than £40,000, and I won't beat about the bush here. It's just slightly better than fan-bleeding-tastic.
It's hard to know where to start, but I guess in here is as good a place as any, where it really is very, very spacious. I could join the brigade of guards and there'd still be enough space above my head for the requisite hat. I don't even have this seat pushed all the way back, and that's very rare in a car these days. No, make no mistake, the Cerbera is a comfortable beast if you're tall.
It rides well too. Thanks to the long wheelbase, it has a suppleness that I simply wasn't expecting.
They say it's the first TVR for 10 years to suit the family man, but only if you've defied science and managed to give birth to a couple of hamsters. Those back seats are pretty tiny.
But look, if you want 4 seats, buy a Mondeo. If they'd made it a proper 4-seater, it wouldn't look so good, and it wouldn't go quite so quickly. For the last 15 years, TVR has used the old Land Rover V8, but now they've gone into the engine business themselves. With, it must be said, some pretty startling results.
I don't have any figures to hand, but I can tell you this. I am driving the noisiest, most exciting and fastest car this side of a Lamborghini Diablo. If you want to achieve the same effect as this car in your kitchen, just put the engine from a Type 42 destroyer in your tumble dryer.
Basically, we designed the engine as a race engine. It was my idea at the time that if we wanted to expand, we ought to make something that we could sell to other people. So we've ended up with a 75-degree V8 with a flat plane crank. The bottom half of the engine up to the heads is exactly as you would see in a current Formula One engine. To make the engine more compact and fit the car, we chose to go for an unusual cylinder head design in such that it's a single overhead 2-valve layout, which, because obviously on a road car you can't use the very high revs that Formula One engines rev to try and get the torque a bit lower down. And I'm not sure Lexus would want to come and buy it for its refinement, but it's a very sporting engine indeed. There are a lot of people who flash pretend horsepower numbers around. I can tell you, when you've got 360 horsepower in a car that weighs just over a ton, it becomes a very quick car.
.360 horsepower. It has got to have a government health warning on it somewhere. It looks like something out of Aliens. I mean, this is weapons-grade power. From 0 to 100 miles an hour, the Cerbera will out-drag a Tornado jet. Out-techno it as well. You don't open this huge door with anything so mundane as a door handle. No, you just think your way in. It's the same story on the inside. I love the way they've grouped these instruments above and below the steering wheel. I love the buttons on the steering wheel. I love the swoopiness of this dash. It's like something out of the 50s, the 2050s. A time when you don't start a car with anything so dull or tedious as a key. Engine start.
Don't get confused here, though. This is not a gizmo car. It has no sunroof, no traction control, no trip computer. It does have a stereo, but you may have noticed it hasn't been on. We've hardly played any music because the Cerbera brought its own along.
Just listen to this noise.
Eat your heart out, Tchaikovsky. When it comes to a good old tune, the Cerbera makes your 1812 sound like Michael Bolton. Today, this is about the only all-British car you can buy, but that's only part of the reason why I absolutely adored it. It's like a cross between Jonah Lomu and a Dodge Viper. I just couldn't help driving it until I ran out of land.
You know, whenever I road test a car on top gear, I'm usually left at the end with one abiding memory. The Ferrari 355, the best. The Lamborghini Diablo, brutal. Jaguar, comfortable. Nissan Sunny, well, there's the exception that proves the rule. And this, fast. Very, very fast.